Erin, would his hat look better with my outfit?
Yeah, you want
Can I
Sean's
borrow
hat?
your hat?
Nuh-uh.
Sean's.
Did you really?
Wow, thanks, Sean, for being a team player.
Yeah.
Just tell me.
Oh, that looks a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
it
kind of a
matches
vibe.
actually perfectly.
Oh, wow.
My God,
Sean has a
your
big head.
is huge.
Sean's got a lot of hair.
I got a big head
Sean
too.
said yes.
Sean,
it
you have
is.
such a big head.
Oh,
And here we go.
You're making me feel like that one doll from Beetlejuice.
The little head. That's my favorite part. Beetlejuice.
dude, my editing skills, by the way, I cropped 2 people out of this picture.
You also
And I'm
you
proud of
I
you.
used AI.
Oh.
I had a couple of small things that could have been improved, but I thought your editing was great. You just didn't get close enough to your legs with the blur. You left a ring around them.
You.
I thought
I
it'd
was
be,
tired of editing at that point. I already
so
took
you
2
knew.
whole
So you
people
knew.
out.
Okay.
I already took 2 whole people
He
out.
used AI. What work were you doing?
Well, I still had to trace the people to remove them.
Put a young Elon Musk on our hands.
This is after.
I mean,
See, I did good.
yeah.
You did.
Holly, straighten your mic towards your mouth just a little bit. Okay. And at this point, God, that's why we can't have nice things. I think we already kind of started.
Oh, did
this. I mean, at this point, it's gonna be like this. I feel
we? Okay,
like.
perfect.
You want to try to tell people what we're doing before
Yeah.
this just goes completely to shit?
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. I'm pretty sure we've already started this podcast, but welcome back to Unlocked. We have our friend roundtable. We've been wanting to do this for a really long time.
A long time.
A long time. And they know things. Well, they know a lot.
That we do.
And we're going to discuss that. Some's going to be happy, like, and embarrassing. And then some is like the real crap that everyone wants to hear. So we have Tyler. And Tyler, introduce yourself.
I am Tyler Bishop. Y'all probably know me by now. I feel like we've been on enough stories and reels and
Oh, yeah.
all of our scandalous behavior in
Stop
New
swiveling
York.
so much.
But I am her hairstylist and best friend, and we have known each other now for what, 5 years?
5 years? Yes. Why don't you go? I think we should start off each person of like how we met.
How we met.
Okay.
Oh gosh, that's a funny story.
Yeah, Tyler's is funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I thought you hated me.
I just
You
didn't
thought I
think, I
hated
just
you.
didn't like your
didn't-
work at the time.
Your mom's hair.
Yeah, I just didn't like your work at the time.
I had not done like big hair before. Like I was more known for like my beach waves and texture, and I got
Very
that,
subpar.
Tell us how you really feel.
yeah.
The southern
I
like
feel the love.
volume was not.
Yeah, I feel
Your
the love. But no, I wasn't good at that. I didn't know anything about it. So one of the guys at the salon was like good at like what we call like a Vegas blowout, like big hair, like volume rollers. And I got the opportunity to do Julie's hair for the first time. And I literally had him show me like 2 or 3 times how to do it on one of his clients. And then I went home. And if you're not a hairstylist, when you practice on a mannequin by yourself, the head just comes directly off of the stand all the time. So I duct taped the head onto the stand and practiced all night long, like how to do blowouts, how to get volume.
So he practiced so hard for it to not turn out. That's what he's telling you.
I had like 2 packs of rollers, which I thought were plenty. They weren't. I get there. I was like so nervous, hadn't eaten anything. I was nauseous.
That's the worst.
Yeah. And she was like, I'd put like tons of volume product in her hair. I was trying to give like the most impact that I possibly could.
He
And
gave quite the impact, let me tell you.
Do you have a picture?
yeah, actually,
Oh,
of
it
the
looks
before?
good. It's just not what we're used to now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It was like the first one when she was like in that all black.
Yeah.
Anyway, I get there and I get like halfway up the head. There's no more rollers. So I can't, to a new client that's like my biggest client at this point, be like, hey, we're out of rollers. So I like start problem solving and I was like, okay, these have sat the longest. So I started taking them out and putting them in the front so I could like work my way up the head. And Julie like turns around and looks at me and was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I said something sassy. I can't remember what it was. I was like, I know what I'm doing. Turn around.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what you said.
Something like that.
Yeah.
You're like, I've practiced all night for this.
You said something very like write it off. Like, oh, don't worry about it, girl. I got like,
Yeah, something.
I know what I'm doing.
And she was like, okay. So like 15 minutes later, this one rolls in.
We had never met before.
Yeah, she was a peach. And she like
our first encounter went too.
sits in the dining room staring at us, and she's just like,
You knew she was talking
and she
shit.
goes, Mom likes a lot of volume. And I was like, yeah, I know, I got it.
Yeah, I got it.
And then like, what was it? She was like, I loved my hair. It was so great. And like a year later, both of you were like, we hated her hair.
Yeah, we hated it.
But
It
that,
was terrible.
long story short, was the first time that we ever met.
That's the first time I ever met, and then somehow became friends from that. Not sure how that led into a friend. I think you did her color.
It was
and
Sarah.
I loved.
My old mentor.
Yes.
Yep.
Because she did my hair in Florida when I was there for vacation,
Yep.
and then that's
She
how
flew
we
up here to do like a couple people's hair.
Yeah.
She was doing y'all's hair, and she had told y'all like, I've got somebody here
Yeah.
if I'm not here to do it. And she asked me if she could use my station and if we could tag team like we used to, because she had taught me everything I know. And y'all walked in and y'all were like,
I was like, oh shit, this is about to be bad. No, and then you started
did
doing
it,
my
yeah.
color, and I was like obsessed with it. And then now, y'all, he's really good now. Like he's really, really
Now.
good now.
clip that.
Yeah.
Like that. No. Okay. Part of our friend group too, we always give each other shit
All the
like
time.
all the time. And
Yeah.
it's our way of showing love. I know
Yeah.
it seems kind of abusive, but it's
Pretty dark.
pretty
all
dark.
in love.
Pretty all in love. Yeah. So Tyler is responsible for my hair. Thank God. Because now I'm obsessed with it. But that was our encounter.
Now you can't live without me every time you go somewhere.
Anytime I go somewhere, and like Tyler loves me enough to go to the RNC and do my hair. So
Clip that.
like that's some love. And
was a fun
then-
trip, though.
That was a fun trip.
Yeah, we had a good time.
That was fun. And now we have Holly. Y'all have heard, if you have not heard Holly's episode of like telling her story, it was insane. It was so good.
Was it?
Yeah, it was really good. A
Way
lot
back
of people,
towards the beginning. You'd have to scroll back.
I mean,
but-
yeah, it was like the very, very beginning.
yeah, a lot of people like connected with it. But how did we meet? When?
I remember.
Oh,
I've
God.
been thinking the whole time, just like looking straight through, like, when did I meet Savannah? But it was like 7 years ago, or it could have been longer. I don't know. When did you move here?
I moved here 9-10 years ago.
Okay, so it was probably 7 years ago, and it was somebody's birthday. We went skydiving, and I did not know you. We were all in a car together, I think.
Yes, we were.
And then as soon as we got to the skydiving place, you're like, come into the bathroom. And I'm like, okay. And we get into the bathroom and you were like sobbing. Do you remember why?
Why was I sobbing?
You don't remember?
Only happens
No.
once a quarter.
I know.
Right, that's a rarity.
If that.
I didn't even know her. I was like,
Clearly, I was
she just
unhinged.
knew you were the nurturer.
the meme. I'm not. I mean, I'm kind of.
You are.
Yeah, you are.
Anyways, okay. So
What was
you're
I sobbing over?
Because Nick got sold to the Penguins or some shit. I didn't even know what you were talking about. I was like,
Sold?
Traded?
Traded, maybe.
He was not being trafficked.
yeah.
Winnipeg Jets. He got traded to
Oh,
the Jets.
yes. Yeah, that's what happened.
Was that really what happened?
You were so upset.
Was I?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then fast forward, you guys went skydiving.
Yes.
And we get back in the car and you guys are just sick. Do you remember how sick you were? Like gonna throw up. I guess
no.
from doing like
Oh, the spinning.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm out on that skydiving trip that we were talking about.
No, it'll be great. It'll be great.
Then I didn't talk to you for like 2 years after that, I think.
Stop. That is insane. I cannot believe you remember that.
I do.
She was like,
It took me a minute.
Well, there's like a stranger calling to her in a bathroom at a skydiving.
Yeah, clearly I was unhinged.
And I didn't even know what any of it meant. I was like, I don't-
You clearly, because you just said he got sold.
yeah, I still, yeah.
Well, Savannah, never mind. I'll tell that later.
Okay, great. Yep. So, well, there we have it. That is Holly. And our relationship, I absolutely love it. And Holly is that friend that like her facial expressions her facial expressions, just like there will be times that we're out places and she'll be making faces and I'll
I
go
know.
like hit her or like holy snap out of it. Like Holly
gets me
just
in so
marches.
much trouble.
Yeah, she just marches to her own beat. And next we have Pamela. Pamela, we have been friends. Dear, okay, our relationship's actually a little complex.
Yeah, we've really got off to a messy start.
What? How?
Well, you and I wasn't really messy, but the beginning of our friendship from outside sources was pretty messy.
Yes. Well, when we first met, so Pamela and Nick worked together.
Yep.
So they had
For
their
the
like
penguins.
We did. I got sold to the penguins too. Good.
So when did we meet the first time?
Well, let me start this off by saying I kind of have a similar story as Tyler. Savannah was a real gem the first time I met her.
Oh my God. I clearly was going
a
through
pattern.
it.
So Nick and I guess
Well,
at
these
this
are
point,
years apart.
No, we're going to act like it's the same time.
It's really not years apart. Savannah
Yeah,
and I
I
have
really
been
don't-
friends for 6 going on 7 years.
Yeah, so it's about the same.
And I'd been at Bourbon having dinner with some friends. We were leaving.
Our bourbon story.
Yeah, Bourbon is where all good things start. We were leaving, and Savannah and Nick were actually coming in. And the only thing, like Nick, like introduces me to Savannah because we had not met yet. And the only thing Savannah does, she goes, "It's good to meet you. Can you take my picture?"
Stop. Oh
I will
my God.
never forget
Solid.
it. I was like, I don't really know if that's what I expected, but okay.
I am mortified.
Took Savannah's picture, moved along. I don't really think I saw Savannah again for probably like maybe a month after that. And then Nick invited us over to Savannah's house for dinner.
Okay.
And I think from that point we had a game night and she realized maybe I wasn't that terrible and I realized she wasn't either, and we've kind of been best friends ever since.
Yeah, because I think at that point in time, I was so frustrated with like the work aspect of things. And then remember you and I had found out something and then we like
And then we
started
kind of like
texting.
trauma bonded
Yeah.
over the disasters that were happening with like work and mutual friends and
That
in
was
the
a thing.
breakup. Savannah
Oh,
and I
yeah.
got each other.
Yeah. And then I will never forget, I don't know why I'm thinking of this, but like our friend group is like when it comes to dating people, we're just like all in each other's business, right?
I mean, rightfully
Do you
so.
know where I'm
Yeah.
going with this?
I can only imagine. There's so many stories to tell.
I
I felt like you, honestly, Holly, in this moment with my facial
Oh yeah,
expressions.
Savannah doesn't hide things well either sometimes.
So Pamela was dating someone new, and we were gonna have like a game night at my house and dinner, and I invited them over, and I will never forget.
Like her jaw
Wait,
was,
when
she
was
was like,
this? When was this?
this was maybe 8 or 9 months into our friendship
Yes.
at this point.
Okay.
Like, and this girl that Pamela was dating walks in, and I was like,
Did I know her?
No.
no. I was in such shock
This was
just
back, was
not-
back when it was just me and Savannah.
Yeah,
like we
she
had
had
y'all of
thigh
you had not
tats or
come into
something?
the. She just was not.
She was not Pamela's type.
Not even a little bit.
I was shocked. I like, and she was
Show
just
show me a picture.
Polar opposite of
polar
Michaela.
opposite. And then she ended up like stealing all kinds of shit from Pamela. You remember?
I know.
Was that the one that looked like a truck
While
driving
Savannah and I
lesbian?
were on a
Yes, that's
Savannah
the-
and I were in
Like
the
what?
Bahamas on
Like a truck driving
vacation.
lesbian?
Remember?
Yeah, Tyler, say it. Ask her again.
Was that the one that looked like a truck driving lesbian?
That's the one.
Yeah, that
her name?
was one.
We're gonna
just kidding.
split
I just
that
want to see. I just want to see if y'all are on it or not.
Allegedly.
No, that was hilarious. And then
Allegedly.
we were in the Bahamas, and she had like stolen all your
Came home
shit.
and, like everything was gone. Like
Where was she going to take it in the Bahamas? Was she leaving?
no,
we
Savannah were in the Bahamas.
Oh, she took
was
it
at
from
home.
your house.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
drove that semi right to that house and packed all.
Backed it all up. Yeah.
So that was a good time.
Yeah. So, oh my
And
god.
Savannah was really kind then too. She was like, if you ever bring her over again, you're not allowed back in my house.
Yeah. Please make sure there's no CDLs on your next
Yeah.
hinge match. Thank you.
Seriously. Oh my gosh.
Don't worry, they didn't get any better after that.
No.
My life didn't
Well,
take
you're-
a turn until I met Michaela.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like,
Like we all were getting defensive with Michaela.
I say
now.
considering we're engaged. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like
We're
her.
golden.
She stays.
She stays forever, yeah.
Yeah, I love
Friend
her.
group approval.
Yes, she's
Oh, we
freaking
love her.
awesome. And then, last but not least, we have the infamous Erin.
Sounds really sweet too.
I love how she's introduced all of us. Like, yeah, I hated all of them before.
I know.
But it was
I'm
like mutual.
Yeah.
No, I never hated Erin.
You weren't a shining star either. Just kidding. Actually, do you know when we met? I actually don't know for sure if I'm right about it.
When did we meet?
We don't
Because
know.
it's weird. Nashville is like big city, small town.
We
The
overlap
first
a lot.
person in our friend group that I was friends with was Shannon Ford at like 16 years old.
Yeah, I met you when you were 17.
I know, she is.
She's so pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, and funny.
It's,
I touched her boob.
you what?
She's Shannon's
You
boob?
remember?
Do you know her?
We were at, I think, Chad's birthday at some place. You remember it said happy 40th? And I was like, I think I just told her, like, your boobs are so nice. And,
You just touched it?
yes,
There's one way to
She
do it.
probably didn't miss a beat.
she was so cool.
Yeah.
She was like, you can touch them. I don't remember how it happened, but I just remember.
This is a great clip. We'll tag Shannon in this.
She'll appreciate it.
Yes, I
Well, I'm glad. Yeah, Shannon does. Shannon's gorgeous. She's like a freak of nature. When did we meet?
I think probably the first time we met was one night out at South when you were there like 4 years before you were supposed to be even in a bar.
Yeah.
You were 17.
Yeah.
And we just have a bunch of your best friends are other best friends are also mine, MC and Ricky. So that's Shannon you knew, but MC and Ricky
Who
were
are you referring to?
No, MC and Ricky.
Oh, MC
two
and
of our
Ricky.
other best friends.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so Shannon was like the catalyst, and then you hung out at the same bar that like our group of friends was hanging out at, except we weren't 17.
Yeah.
And then you
Well,
kept sneaking in, but then when
I didn't sneak in.
they let you walk in,
They just let me come in.
right? And you
And
came in.
I was 18 really, because I moved to Nashville July 11th before my 18th birthday.
Okay, so you were 18, so that's fine.
Not terrible.
And then and then we really became close when after
The
the
pandemic.
pandemic. Yep, I got laid off at Vanderbilt. They laid off everyone in like video, a bunch of SEC layoffs, and social media and everything. And then I just posted something like, normally I'm not like, hey, I lost my job on social media, but for some reason I was just like,
I'm not
It
okay.
was public, like everyone knew that Vanderbilt had all these layoffs. So I was like, screw it, everybody already knows. So I just posted something. I think I was out running one morning and like posted something that was like about there being like a light, like, you know, what are you doing?
It was about to
Spill.
drop on my pants.
Are you
so I
licking
just
it?
licked it.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I
looked over
posted
mid-lick.
something about like guess I'm ready for like, I don't, this sounds so cheesy. I don't think I said adventure, but I was like gonna figure out what's coming next or something. Savannah responded and was like, hey, do you do anything video, photo for things that aren't sports?
And then it was like the same thing as Tyler, and you were like all night, like
what?
figuring it out and YouTubing. And
Right? Have a fake Dexter head in my apartment trying to video
That
it.
you're duct taping to the.
YouTubing how to do the video.
But immediately you were like, okay, well, I need someone. And like that, you actually helped me. I never took an official, like I never took another job except for freelance jobs ever again before starting the company. And part of the reason I didn't have to jump back into another job immediately is because I was doing stuff for you. So you helped bridge that gap between my job and starting my company.
It was honestly such a God thing.
Yeah.
Like such a God thing when that happened.
And we've done now so much stuff to get, like so much content.
I know.
So much stuff.
And so much fighting and I think just what was it the other day?
Fight that much.
It was something with like our scheduling or whatever, and I was like, it's not coming up. I was like, this is a you thing.
Well,
And it was we got into it over there, and I was just like, I'm gone. We'll deal with this another day.
the calendar. And can anybody else attest to y'all's individual experiences with technology as it relates to Savannah? And how would y'all say she does when it comes to
Considering that
technology?
Savannah and I sell real estate together, she doesn't even know how to log into Facebook.
Thank
on her
you.
own.
There it is.
Like,
Yeah.
There
it is.
Facebook stumps her most of the time. If that
Facebook's
answers any
ancient,
questions.
though.
She actually struggled with
It
that
is.
this
It's
day.
like
too.
it's like MySpace now. It is. Yeah.
But it's the most basic user-friendly
Yeah, it
system
is.
there is. 'cause
Just a
it's meant for old
username and a
people.
password. Just a
Right.
username and a password.
Okay. Well, to each their own. Okay.
Yeah, so we did get in a
You
little
say
tiff.
potato,
but
we say vodka.
Yeah.
we know. We know.
Dear God.
So you made it all the way around the table.
Yeah, we did.
What's next?
Well, what do you think is next?
Well, I wrote down a bunch of questions that I think was funny. Okay, so I think this episode's probably going to turn into 2 parts. I want to talk about just funny stories that we have as a friend group. I want to touch on some of the stuff that went down with your parents that maybe other people don't know, like some of the ins and outs. What do you? Can y'all share with the group?
No, we're just already laughing about your funny stories you want
You
to
said
share.
funny stories, and we both looked at each other.
Because
The night that Tyler and I met's quite the story too.
So
Should
maybe
we start off with that?
you can.
oh my god, yeah. How did y'all meet?
Okay, so
Well,
Bourbon,
clearly-
right back to bourbon with you on Valentine's
Stop.
Day.
so
Wait,
I
Oh,
all right, we're good.
she does that all the time in recording.
I knew you were doing it in the movies,
she
and I was
leans-
like, "Are you okay?"
Sean's
I
convinced
thought-
she leans into the mic when she does it too.
No, it's so intense. It's,
Yeah, no, he just kind of jumped over there.
I thought you were crying in the movie the other night.
Oh no, I don't cry.
I know, I did. I was shocked.
You
I
were
was like,
crying the first day you met her.
Yeah,
She was.
something was real wrong.
It was a soft launch.
Yeah. All right, continue. Bourbon.
so I think we're going on a date, and you had came.
No, Savannah and I had been day drinking all day. It's what-
Wait, when?
on Valentine's
my
Day, like
memory.
3 or 4 years ago. 4 years
You've
ago,
gone through a
baby.
lot.
I have gone through a lot.
That's
Yeah.
where you don't remember.
I honestly
We could
think
just
like the
gaslight her and
trauma.
make shit up.
Let's do it.
This is my friends right here. What'd you just say?
We could just gaslight you and make shit up.
You got to be real strong
what
to be in the
happened. We're like, you
social
don't remember?
circle.
You don't
You don't
remember?
remember?
You've been through a lot. You've been through a lot.
She told me that she was going on a date that I think happened later on. But she was like, I'm going to meet my friend. I'm going out with my friends tonight for dinner. You should come. She came to my salon suite to get her hair done. And that's when you invited me. And I did your pony that day, remember?
Is it the time that
Because-
she pulled
Yes.
my ponytail out?
Yes. Yes.
And after that, I was trying to put it back in the bathroom. We got your trench coat drenched in the toilet. We were trying to blow dry the coat with one of those hand dryers, and all you can hear is us like little schoolgirls laughing in the bathroom. But no, I thought I was expecting like a group of friends, and it was just her and Pamela.
Because at that point you didn't know she didn't have that
is
many.
the-
And guys, to make something very clear, because he just got real confusing, I was not on a date with Pamela.
No.
No date had happened at this
No.
point.
So yeah, the date happened.
No, at all.
No, the date happened.
Y'all are missing.
I understand what you're saying. We know that you weren't on a date with Pamela
not
then, or
Nobody thinks you're a lesbian. I can assure you.
yeah.
What? You trying to call me a hoe?
I'm trying to call you heterosexual.
There
we know you like
there
guys.
are tabloid articles circulating right now about how Savannah's thirsty and needs to stop commenting on Kevin Costner's legs.
Yeah.
Look, that's an obsession Savannah will never let go, and everybody needs to get over that one.
Thank you.
No. Okay, continue. Sorry. So the date had not happened yet, I guess. I don't know what date I was
had-
supposed to be on.
I do,
I'll
but I'm
get-
not going to share that.
I'll get to that.
This episode of Unlocked is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Let's face it, sometimes multitasking can be, well, overwhelming. Like when your favorite podcast is playing and the person next to you is talking and your car fan is blasting, all while you're trying to find the perfect parking spot. But then again, sometimes multitasking is easy, like quoting with Progressive Insurance. They do the hard work of comparing rates so you can find a great rate that always works for you, even if it's not with them. Give their nifty comparison tool a try, and you might just find getting the rate and coverage you deserve is easy. All you need to do is visit Progressive's website to get a quote with all the coverages you want, like comprehensive and collision coverage or personal injury protection. Then you'll see Progressive's direct rate, and their tool will provide options from other companies all lined up and ready to compare, so it's simple to choose the rate and coverages that you like. Press play on comparing auto rates. Quote at progressive.com and join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. This episode of Unlocked is brought to you by BetterHelp. You guys know I've spoken about BetterHelp time and time and time again, and that's because I am a firm believer in their product. I mean, BetterHelp is absolutely amazing, and it's all online and designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. All you do is just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. I don't know about you, but 2024 has started off with quite a bang. And for me, being a single parent, single income household, trying to deal with finances, kids, my own personal mental health, it's all been a huge challenge. I am not going to lie. And that is where therapy and BetterHelp has come into play, because I have started to realize that if I am not my best self possible, then how in the heck am I going to be able to operate? So that's where I turn to BetterHelp. You can visit betterhelp.com/Savannah today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Savannah.
So I was doing her hair for that, and I show up to dinner, and it's just the three of us, and we had a great time. And somehow
we sat at the table over near the window, kind of.
Yeah, and somehow we got on the subject of how even though I'm gay, I don't do any gay things.
No.
I don't go to gay clubs. I don't go to gay bars. I don't go to Pride. I just don't like people.
I mean, I really don't either for the most part.
That's not really about you not liking gays as much
and I
as you
just feel like
not
sometimes like gays are like catty. Like if I want to go to a club, I want like everybody to have fun.
Yeah.
And this
And
night
I feel
Tyler
like
really
when you
proved
go to
his
gay
point.
clubs, a lot of times it's like very cliquey. And like if you're paying attention and you're not somebody that anyone's looking at, you can like pick out the groups that don't like each other.
Yeah.
And they're all like,
I love.
and then like 3 Cosmos in, like they're all secretly messaging each other on Grindr. And then like 8 a.m. rolls around and they're like,
I love that.
so I was like, yeah, I'm all set on gay clubs.
I'm all
and
set.
That's my phrase.
both of them were like, oh no, you're going. It was like a Friday or Saturday night, right?
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
And they were like, oh no, you're going.
I didn't go.
To a gay
I'll
club?
get to
He's
that.
getting there.
Oh, okay.
The
Sorry.
This was supposed to be a group
the
collective.
damn dream team over
Yeah,
here.
it was supposed to be a group collective. And they were like, oh no, you're going. And I was like, not me.
I think that was supposed to be a date with old.
This was long before that.
Yeah, just big.
Continue.
So we were like, they're like, you're going. And I was like, no, I'm not. And they're like, you're absolutely going. So they get me tipsy enough to be like, all right, fine. I'm going to go. And we get all the way down to the bottom of the hotel and she ditches us.
Not only ditches us, we turned around and she had vanished.
Gone. She didn't tell us she was
didn't tell us
leaving.
bye, just
I do
nowhere to
that.
be seen.
We didn't know if she just got her valet ticket and got in her car and left, if someone else picked her up.
Yeah.
Like if she'd
And
been
so-
kidnapped. Like
So
I
They
would
bring
have
it
panicked.
back.
not, I don't like meeting new people.
Well,
am
we're all caught up on that.
am standing with someone brand new
we had known each other for maybe an hour and a half at this point.
who knows that she needs to boss me around or I'm not going to go. So she's like, we're leaving your car here. We're leaving my car here and we're going to Uber.
Sorry, that's just my naturally bossy state.
Yeah. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's better that way.
So we're like on the way there. And can I tell the whole story?
I mean,
Why not?
Look at Holly. Holly's over here like, I'm bored.
no, I'm just.
So we're on our way there, and she was like, we're going to both clubs. I was like, no, you get to pick one. And she was like, I'll pick one. And then the other. And I was like, okay. So we walk into Tribe, and it was pretty dead. And there was a line wrapped around the building at Play.
I love this part.
That's why I was like, can I tell the whole story? So she like takes me by the, I was like, let's just go. Like, I don't want to wait in that line. It's going to be like an hour and a half. And she was like, no, it won't. And she like grabs me by the hand, walks
This is
all
what I learned from Savannah.
Yeah.
walks all the way up to the front and looks at this big bouncer and is like, yeah, my name's Pamela. I know the owner. I can call him.
You might have not know the owner of Play.
Yeah.
Did not.
Just so we're clear.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, oh, okay. And
Walked
it
right
is
in.
shoulder to
I
shoulder
would've died.
from the door to the ticket counter where they give you your stamp. And she just bulldozes her way through. And when somebody's pushing you from the back, you want to like turn around
and be like, what
so
the?
they don't see her. They see me like,
I didn't get you.
so we get our ticket. And then she bulldozes all the way to the bar, which is a long walk. And the bartender sees it, so he's intentionally ignoring us until she like puts her feet on the footrest of a bar stool, so she's
my
like
God.
head and shoulders above everyone.
Don't act like you've never
and
done
she's
something
like,
similar.
Excuse me, excuse me.
I would have.
Holly would have been mortified.
I would have been like.
I was.
I
gets
would have
better.
been mortified.
What's the best part of it?
You can just fast forward to the end of this part.
Yeah, so
where
she
you,
bulldozes all the way to the VIP section that's roped off.
Stop.
It wasn't roped off. There was just some tables and chairs. There was no rope.
Yeah, but no, there was the little thing. Remember?
Well, maybe I missed that.
Oh, God.
You did. And there were people half her height
Literally.
that had bought those tables.
Because they were half her height.
And, you know, there was like a drag performer. And so she's standing in front of them like this with dollar bills.
Stop.
Savannah?
No, not me.
Oh, I was like, that's such a good story.
I did not.
Vanished.
Yeah, she
that
vanished.
would've
She's
been
already
sad.
ditched us. She's not there. So I'm with my new friend.
Oh, okay.
Pamela.
And
Me and Pamela.
So that was highly embarrassing. I finally got drunk enough to stay, and she was like, I'm ready to go.
It's actually not your normal demeanor.
It's
either.
not.
No.
Like, none of it is very out of character for me. That's how I behaved the night I met someone, but yet he stuck around.
Yeah.
No, I loved her
Here
for
he
it.
is.
So then she wants to
no.
go home. I get an Uber because my car is at Bourbon, and it's like 1 a.m. And this minivan rolls up in the alley and opens the back sliding door from the front seat and goes, Tyler? And I was like, yeah. And like gets in the van. My phone dies on the way because I still live in Franklin. And I realized that the key fob to get into my apartment is on the key ring that's at Bourbon.
Oh, no.
So I'm in an old neighborhood trying to raise up my windows to get into my apartment. I'm breaking into my own apartment at 1:30 in the morning, and it has a child lock on it. So it only opens this much. So I have to squeeze my way through and get into my apartment. That's the night I met Pamela.
Wow.
And that's how most of us became friends, as Savannah probably abandoned us all together at one point in time
I think
or
so.
another.
I'm almost positive that's probably
Savannah's
what
really
happened.
good at Irish goodbyes.
When she does
right.
that, I start like abandoning her back. Because like she's going to call you eventually. You know? She runs off. I mean, unless you're really going straight to bed and that's it.
Yeah, I'm known for that.
Yeah,
Like,
you-
y'all know you'll be at my house and we'll be eating.
And she will go to bed and leave you up
We
watching
will be in the
TV.
middle of a game or a conversation, and you will get up like you're going to the bathroom
And never
run a
come
bath.
back.
She'll run a bath, and we'll walk into her room, and she's like, I'm in the bath. And we're like,
Or she'll
we
text
supposed
the
to
group
leave?
at the table and be like, good night, lock up when you leave.
yeah.
Yeah, basically. I mean, y'all really have. I mean, okay, what we want to go into, because everyone loves, it's so crazy, but the people that listen to this podcast love to hear like about all my misfortunes.
That's because it
Yeah,
makes
that's
them
why
feel
we
better.
put. That's why sometimes if you see her sad on the thumbnail, we did it on purpose because people are more likely to click on it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's the truth.
It's the truth. So now I just embrace my shitstorm of a life and just go for it.
Well, you know
and
what our motto is.
What? Oh, if we didn't have that bad luck, we'd have no luck at all.
That's right.
That's what we go by. And when I think too, we all became like much closer when mom and dad left.
Yeah.
Like, we were
or just through
close.
that
Leading
process.
leading
We were
up
close
to
before that.
through
Yeah,
that process.
leading up to the,
we were, I mean,
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like as a group, like we all were close, but like especially leading up to it, like we were all around
Yes,
much
okay,
more.
yeah.
well,
like,
and we
with
didn't
each
need
other.
you. We didn't necessarily like use you as a means to talk at that point. We were all talking to each other
Yeah.
to make sure we were doing the right thing by you.
Yeah.
It's like our individual bonds, I feel like, got a lot stronger.
Yeah. Well, who was it that was at the house whenever the whole guilty verdict came down?
Holly and
It was
Chad.
Holly.
Yeah.
Was it you and Chad? I knew for a fact it was you, but I couldn't remember who else was there.
Chad.
So you and Chad
When you were on the way home from
when the guilty verdict came
that's
down.
right.
And I just like that whole thing.
Yeah.
I remember, like, first off, I still can't even watch Law and Order because, like, when you hear that guilty, like,
Yeah.
it's like plays
Right.
in your head. But I didn't cry the whole way home. Like, the whole way home. And I thought, like, I was crazy.
who was in the car?
It was, I don't even remember. I don't even remember getting home. But I think it
think
was
your mom
Chloe
drove.
and Grayson. No, I had my car.
No, it
'Cause
was-
see,
a man. Like,
Nope.
I thought it was.
Was it Nick?
I think so. I think he drove you,
You
back
and
that
Nick?
day.
no, I drove because Nick had to get
No, it was
Dad's.
Nick.
No,
I think it was
no,
Nick.
Nick went back. I immediately left, And then Nick drove mom or dad's car home because they both had their cars too because it was a 4-week trial. So Nick went back to the hotel, dealt with getting everyone's stuff packed up, all of that, and then drove one of the cars home. And then mom drove the other one home with she and dad because they had to stay longer. Remember, we wanted to get the kids out of there because the press and all of that was surrounding it.
Did you have the kids in the car?
I know I had Grayson.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that I had Grayson. And then Nick dealt with everything else so we could go ahead and get back to Nashville. But I don't remember like getting home. No, I'm telling you, Nick drove mom's car home.
What feels weird about
And
it
my
is that
grandparents
there's two.
who drove Nanny Faye's car home? Remember, because she was so upset, so someone had to drive her car.
Because it's weird because we feel like it was twice because it kind of was because the second one was almost the sentencing. The real sentencing almost felt like a trial.
Yeah.
So it feels like there's two, but we were all at
We were all
sentencing,
at the sentencing. That was
felt like another mini trial. But I don't know who was with you.
But I know for a fact it was just it was me and Grayson, I want to say. But when I got home, I literally walked in the door and collapsed. And it was, and I could not calm down. And I think I don't know. I took something to calm me down.
I didn't give you anything.
No, it wasn't you.
I had no drugs. Okay.
She said Holly was the only one at my house, and they gave me something.
totally high.
And they knocked me all the way out.
No, what is I don't know. I took something.
You took something for your anxiety,
For my
I'm
anxiety.
sure.
Yeah.
Which would be understandable.
But then Holly literally bathed me. Yes, you took my. Remember?
I helped you get in the bath.
Yeah,
Yes.
helped
You
me
were
get in the shower.
sobbing.
I couldn't even function. And then from there, what other
that was
The next week or
really
two went
bad.
that
And
way.
when was that? That was, what month was that?
That was in June, I think, because the trial started May 16th on Grayson's
That's right.
birthday.
That was
on
in
his
June.
16th birthday.
Then if you flash forward, there's a bunch of stuff that happened in between of things that you were having to do with lawyers, but it was right before Thanksgiving.
Yep.
The week before Thanksgiving that we had to go back to Atlanta for the sentencing,
The sentencing
which I
was
did
sad.
not know because I've never sat in a case like that. I had no idea that new evidence was being presented. It was a whole day long
gosh.
thing. It felt like a trial again.
Yeah.
And it was your whole family. It was Chloe was sick actually, and Chad was there watching her in
Strep.
another
They
room.
Chad
they
had
were
strep
sick.
Yes.
or flu.
But Grayson was there. The whole family was sitting, and I think the three.
Yeah. We were right behind
Right.
them.
Yeah, in a courtroom, but it was also open to the public. So there's press there. There's a bunch of people there.
The judge was so mean.
Yeah.
I remember it feeling at certain times of that, feeling okay, this feels like it's heading the right direction. And then we came back after lunch, and it was just
Downhill
oh
quick.
no, this is bad.
Yeah.
Because I remember during the break, the lawyers told you had to go ahead and say bye to your parents because y'all didn't know if they were going to get taken out of the courtroom, out of that door by the judges. If you've ever watched a court show, the judge by the front, the door by where the judge sits. We didn't know if Todd and Julie were going that way out in handcuffs or coming home or sentences were going to be staggered. We had no idea.
Well, we knew they weren't
I
going to
remember
go.
you sent me that picture. Do you remember
What?
The one of
of your
Julie.
mom?
Which one?
I got it too. I'll never forget it.
Which one?
Broke
Your
my
mom
heart.
was just squeezing her cross praying in the back room.
Yeah. Yeah. It was mom and dad. They both had had these crosses that Emmy had given them at the time. It was Emmy and her mom, I think, with a prayer or something. And they just, because the deliberations that was during
That was the sentencing.
That was the sentencing.
I always get them confused.
Yeah.
I think it all just runs together.
That would have been the one where they potentially were going to have to leave straight from there because Alex told you you need to say
we
bye.
were down in that cafeteria.
I remember.
And Alex pulled us all to the side and said, go ahead and hand over your wedding
It was
bands."
actually in the room by the courtroom.
Yep.
Phone.
Yep. He
Yeah.
said, go ahead and hand over everything because chances are they're going to take them and they're going to be put in transit.
Yep.
And you're not going to hear from them until they get to where they're going to be.
Which would be minimum of 72 hours. You're not going to hear anything back.
Yep.
But
And
then we found out they had until after Christmas.
I was shocked. Everyone
Not
was
when
shocked.
we went back.
Because whenever, especially too with how the judge had acted the whole trial.
Yeah.
And whenever you get that lengthy of a time, a lot, they just take you immediately. And so we were shocked when the judge said that she would give them until January to report. Because that was...
Yeah, that was...
Yeah.
Looking back, that is really weird.
Yeah, but it is also one of those things.
Yeah.
Like during
no
the whole...
mercy.
No, during the whole trial, like nothing went in our favor. And she had really said some things that caused you to like take a step back and be like, whoa, I can't believe someone can respond this way. But then I looked at it and I was like, you know what? I am grateful that she gave us those 90 days to like
thank God
have with each other until they leave. But that was really tough.
I have the chills just thinking about like Grayson turning around. Like I was so relieved for the 90 days.
Because this was when they were asking for life.
Yeah. And I remember Grayson turning around, literally he's the color of Holly's shirt. Because he turned around to look at me. And because y'all were all really good about just looking straight forward, like trying to be stoic. And Grayson like turned around at me and I have like chills all over my body just thinking about it. And like desperation of like
Somebody
it was almost like he was
something.
looking at me and being like, Erin, don't let them.
Yeah.
Like as if I could do anything. But it was just like this look of like, that can't be right.
And when you saw mom and dad's face, that was a tough.
And that was the hard part. I had lunch with your mom several times over the course of that day and when they left, and you could tell the life had just been sucked out of her. It was very hard.